Hello and welcome to my screencast. My name is Livio van Ubergen and I will tell you more about mentalese. What is mentalese? As I said in the intro, mentalese is a little voice in your head. The voice you are using right now to read most of my slides. The voice you use to ask yourself which coffee you want to drink this morning. The voice, this mentalese, is universal because everyone has it and it comes pre-equipped. It's like when buying a computer and Windows is already installed. Although it's not a language, it is very much like language. Mentalese doesn't express itself with words, but with symbols. And these symbols can be combined with mental syntax, and syntax being universal grammar, which the article also explains. Without this fascinating mental language, we would not be able to think and learn natural languages like French, Dutch, English, etc. So the question that researchers asked is like the chicken and the egg. Does language determine thought, or the other way around? If the latter was true, we would not be able to think without language. Therefore, we can say that meaning is not the same as thought, but I'll explain by an example in the article. The article says that babies are able to process certain information and have complex thoughts, or thought processes. Yet babies can't produce language yet because they haven't had the chance to actually learn them. Animals are the same. They can think in a way, but no other animal other than us have real language. For these examples, researchers show that not only language makes thought possible, and there must be something else. So in Pinker's Language as Instinct Theory, he has a book by the way, he offers an answer contradicting linguistic determinism. But as a reminder, I'll tell you what linguistic determinism says. It dictates that language and its structures limit human power to think. It would limit our very knowledge and thought processes. But Pinker's Language as Instinct doesn't agree. He says that language is an instinct, obviously, but we need help translating the language. So he compares the human mind with a computer, the computational mind. Like a computer, you have an innate language system that only the computer or your mind can understand. The computer can't communicate anything sensible to its user or programs because it's too complex. So you need a programming language like C+ or Java to tell the computer what it needs to do. This means that concepts in our heads are abstract and logical, but harder to put into words. Now, as you may know, language is arbitrary, meaning that someone, likely our parents, or schools, told us that a cat is a cat, or a door is a door, and so on. But who was the first person to come up with words for things? Who was the first one to make language? This question remains unanswered still, but Pinker summarizes Jerry Fodder as knowing a language, then, is knowing how to translate mentalese into strings of words. End quote. This means that without mentalese, we wouldn't really be able to learn a language like English. This is much like a computer programming language. You need the ones and zeros in a computer before your computer can understand what you mean by print hello world when starting the first lesson of Programming 101. Now, you might ask yourself, can you still think without language if you have brain damage? Well, that would be yes. Damaged brains can still think. Even babies can think. All animals actually really think. Maybe a little bit simpler, but they're still just able to process information. Now, they would say that language is restricted, and I would agree. Sometimes you just can't express what you think in words, because words can't describe what I'm feeling. Have you ever said that before, by the way? Words can't describe what I'm feeling right now. I definitely have, and it's so annoying. Now, sentences do need context, so the things that you say need context. Read the examples and try and focus on began. So John began the novel. Just a nice sentence that's grammatically correct, and it makes sense because you can begin a novel. But the next ones, John began the magazine, John began the dictionary. It's not that nice to read because it doesn't make sense. Why? Well, it's grammatically correct, but do you really begin a magazine? Do you really begin a dictionary? No, you might begin something like an article or maybe a section in a dictionary or a magazine, but it needs context. Now, if I told you from the dictionary that a guy, Malcolm X, read a dictionary in prison because he had nothing else available, in this context it would be logical to say John began the dictionary because he started it from beginning to end, much like a novel. Now we can say that syntax and meaning are inseparable, because if you separate them, then mentalese fails. Because mentalese basically just provides the basis for meaning that supports complex thoughts and learning languages. Without mentalese, we wouldn't be able to think. You and I wouldn't be able to think. Thank you for listening to my screencast, and I hope it was helpful. Bye.